Good morning, welcome. It's Sunday the 25th, and sorry about yesterday. Unforeseen circumstances, and I had a disaster with the internet, so I'm a day late putting out my commitment of traders report. Just thanks for all the likes and subscriptions, much appreciated. And we'll start as ever with the Australian dollar. This is quite interesting because, as I said, the Australian dollar was getting a little bit too strong. It got up to 76.33. The commercials came in and went heavily short. I'm expecting by next Friday for that position to have increased. They are fairly predictable on this currency, and so if we go over to the chart, we can see the positions. 12,000 long, 26,000 short, a massive 53,000 long positions dropped, and 32,000 short positions dropped. That gives us a 2.2 to 1 short divergence. So that is quite interesting. From here, we've got heavy resistance above. These are turning points. That's 75.87. I've got that at there all roundabouts. So I'm expecting it to short from here. On the RSI, we're just above the 50. It's bounced off once. We've got to resistance on the RSI just above. So all in all, I'm just expecting it to short next week. But we'll see how we go with that. Next chart we've got up. British pound. Thank you. Right. We're still long. It is slightly less long. There isn't a lot in it. Let's just go over to the chart. Yeah, here we go. We are actually 1.6 to 1 long the pound against the US dollar. By next week, I'll have these divergences actually put on this chart. I'll rehack the chart. So we've seen three nice green candles here. We've come off the support, which is 125.648 in my opinion. This is a turning point, historic turning point, and it is strong support. So I'm expecting the RSI to break the 50, break the trend line, and we're going to continue up. So we'll see what happens then. Thank you. Next pair is the Canadian dollar. Right, there we go. We're not as long. There's a lot of positions being lost on this. I'll go over and have a look at the actual figures. And US Canadian dollar. There we go. US Canadian dollar. 156 long, 70 short. It has gained a lot of shorts and longs. Yep. So basically, I am long this pair. We all know how I feel about the Canadian dollar, and the US dollar is oversold. The Canadian dollar is suffering with the oil prices. My position here is very small, and it's 250 pips. Yeah, so I am expecting this to long, and I expect to get up to about the 1.38 mark. That's sort of my target. We're still below the 50 on the RSI. I'll just move this little trend line over. We had the blip the other day, so that's sorted that out. And I'm expecting this to long from here. I might even put extra positions in. It all depends how I feel. I am a little bit overcommitted, but I see this as a good long. The euro. Yes, here we go. Big change this week. There has been a lot of positions taken off. So I am still heavily short the euro. We'll go over and have a look at the figures on the chart. Euro USD. Yes, we're 132,000 long and 192,000 short. And we've lost 78,000 longs and 108,000 shorts. So we have actually increased our divergence on the euro. Now is 1.4 to 1. So we're short 1.4 to 1. And basically I've got a fairly large position in up here and a couple of small positions in down there. I took these out when it gapped up. So, you know, I've basically just got to sit and wait, but I am absolutely certain. You can see this is flagging down. Somebody did ask me about the flagging the other day, but in my humble opinion, this is actually flagging down. I can't see any reason at all for strength in the euro. The only reason it's got where it is through speculation, and that I feel is going to fail, and that's my opinion. Japanese yen. As you can see, we are just slightly more bullish, the Japanese yen. So if I go over to the chart, USD Japanese yen, we're 112 long and 44 shorts. Now that gives us a divergence of 2.5 plus 2.5, and that is about the best positive divergence on the board this week. We've lost 31,000 of the longs on the Japanese yen and 39,000 of the shorts. So that gives us a really positive divergence for the Japanese yen. We're about at the 50 on the RSI. I'm expecting that to turn down and go through the 50. We've had four or 5 days really of doing nothing, just basically sitting there, slightly going down. And I think this is going to short now. So we'll see what happens with that during the week. Next one we've got Swiss franc. We've lost quite a lot of positions on this, and we've basically come down to the zero line. I said this last week that there isn't anything I really like about trading this, and we better get a different chart. Yeah, this is the USD Swiss franc. We lost 21,000 of the longs and we lost 9,000 of the shorts, and we've come down 9,000 to 7. Basically it's down more or less down to 1 on the divergence. That there are so many good trades out there at the moment with good fundamentals that I really didn't want to get into this, so I'm just going to leave it alone. And the next currency we've got is, my friend, the Mexican peso. So we've lost quite a lot of the shorts on this, but we're still very respectably bearish of this. USD Mexican dollar. We've got 77 positions long and 133 short, which gives us a divergence of 1.7 short. We've seen this come down again to this heavy support. I think it might just go a little bit beyond that, and then I will be going long again on the Mexican peso. So we'll see what happens during the week. I'm not crazy about rushing back in. I really want to get a good signal and take a really good position if I'm going to get back in, and that's where I am with that one. New Zealand dollar. Well, what did I say? I said last week that at the level it was at, I was expecting the commitment of traders to come in heavily and go short the New Zealand dollar, which is exactly what they've done. If we go over to the chart, which is here, New Zealand dollar, yeah, We got 5,000 longs, 28,000 shorts. We've lost 13,000 of the longs and we've gained 6,000 of the shorts. So basically that gives us a divergence of 4.8 short. Now I'd like this against the British pound and the Japanese yen. I think those two long term have got the greatest to offer for obviously the New Zealand dollar short and the pound and Japanese yen long. So yeah, hoping for great things from this. Energies. Crude oil. Right, we have actually gone a little less short on this. I'm expecting the oil to actually continue down, but it might just have a few days where it sort of corrects a little bit because it has had a heavy fall. So I'm out of that, but if it corrects you know, fairly considerably, I might well get back in it short because the crude oil has entered into a bear market at the moment. But as soon as everybody announces that, it does exactly the opposite just to confuse people. But let's have a look at silver. Silver, this has also gone less short, and it is actually at about one of the that's fairly long, so I am expecting silver to pop back up a little bit, but I've got my trend line on the silver, and if I can just pop that up, hang on, silver, yeah, I've got my trend line on the RSI. It has shown a bit of strength. It's gone above this resistance here. You know, I mean, if it did bounce off the mid Bollinger Band, that'd be terrific. I'd be short again on the silver. So we'll see how it goes, and I'll try and catch that again because this is a really good trade. It's very cheap on the swaps, and you know, there's quite a lot of money to be made on that long-term short. There we go. Soft stocks. The S&P 500 about the middle line. I'm waiting for this to crash, as we all know. There's been a lot of positions taken off this week, a lot of positions lightened, and I just wondered if the commercials are going to go in heavy short on the S&P or the Dow or the you know, one of the big majors, and see if they can sort of like bring it down. So I'll keep an eye on that, and we'll see how we go. But I must thank you all for watching, and appreciate all the likes and the subscriptions, and hopefully next week my my web page will be going live, so we'll see. I seem to have ironed out all the problems, famous last words. So see you all next week, hopefully. Cheers now, bye.